Hello and welcome, Anand here. I'm an emotional wellness and meditation coach, and I support clients who move from inner struggles to inner richness. And you can learn more about what I do in the description box below. In today's video, I'm going to explore some approaches to ease off doom scrolling. And to help support that, I thought I would do a change of environment and film this outside in my back garden early in the morning, so that maybe together we can share the morning dawn and the sounds around it. So I'm going to pause for the moment before I talk a bit more about today's topic. And you might want to close your eyes just for a moment, just slowing down and pausing. Allowing nature sounds to hopefully come through this microphone. So more and more today we are receiving information from everywhere. And a pattern that I've been observing from different clients that I'm working with, whether they're in their 20s, right up to one client who's almost in their 70s, that they're all sharing with me how they find themselves continuously scrolling on their phone. And they're like, why can't I stop? But I also noticed that I do the same thing. Certainly over the last few weeks, I've been really paying attention to it, about this scrolling all the time, carrying my phone with me everywhere, and finding that if I have a trouble sleeping at night, going on to a video to maybe, help to sleep and things like that. But I have found that the behaviour I had was becoming more and more increasing. Now, I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with a social documentary called The Social Dilemma. It was on Netflix a few years ago. And in it, Tristan Justin, I think his name is, he talks about how social media has changed in a way that we're being manipulated. And I think many of us know on an intellectual level that it manipulates us and that it's designed in a way to gamify our attention. And there's a lot of talk right now about the attention economy. So businesses, social media, I'm going to include myself here. We're all looking for your eyeballs. We're all looking for your attention. I'm hoping that what I'm offering you is of use and value to you. And that's certainly my experience. When I used to go on the internet, I'd find content that was really helpful. Maybe I learned from it. It educated me. It helped me see something in a different light. And that's the kind of content I'm looking to offer to you. But the quality of content is changing dramatically. And the speed and the sounds, everything about it's very, very fast, very rapid. And I think what really changed it is the infinite scrolling feature, where you don't get to the end of something. And that does something to the mind. And there's a lot of research out there and talks out there on how it's designed in a way that keeps you in. And there was a talk I saw somewhere, I can't remember, where you keep scrolling and you hope to find a piece of content that you really enjoy, and you keep going, and then you get the hit. But then the next time you go to look, maybe it's a bit longer or a bit shorter. It's random, but it's done in a manner that keeps you in, almost like slot machines, gambling machines. That's what this person was talking about, how it's similar. And the question is, can we change that? Perhaps yes, perhaps no, but that's not what I'm interested in sharing with you. I'm sharing it. It's a fact right now that when we go onto social media on our phone, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, I'm not on TikTok. I purposely chose not to go on it because I'm bad enough as I am. And all of these are vying for our eyeballs and our attention, and they want to keep us in. And that's a fact. And I don't feel like we can change that. But what is surprising me is how many of us are getting caught in it. And it doesn't matter about the age. It's actually non-discriminatory. We're all getting hooked in it. And I've also noticed that when I travel, I see this everywhere. Phones. And if you look around, just really start to notice, it's all this. And people in restaurants at this. Even when I was in India, I would see people on the motorbike and the passenger be like this on the phone. It's everywhere. And it's, on one level I'm kind of going, this is strange. But on another level I'm seeing symptoms of very addicting behaviour, that we're being manipulated, but it's also taking us away from ourselves, our inner selves. And that's the bit I'm interested in to share with you today. When I began to observe that I'm carrying my phone around with me, I'm doing this doom scrolling, a half an hour to an hour is gone, I decided to take a 7-day experiment and to just be that detached observer. I've talked about this in other videos. Just noticing, I'm carrying my phone with me everywhere. Oh, I'm using it in the middle of the night. I've lost an hour there. On what? Then I started to really look at how I was feeling. And that was when it was really interesting. And I did it deliberately one day. I'd done a meditation. I was in a really lovely space. Really calm and quiet. And I purposely took my phone and I started looking at my phone and observing how I was feeling. And the agitation, the speeded up thoughts came. And I thought, okay. And noticing how I struggled to stop. It was really difficult. And right now I'm going through the menopause, so sleep is not a good thing for me at the moment, hence the bags. And it is what it is. But I decided to knock off my phone. So I have this routine that I have now, and it's supporting me much better, and I thought I would share it with you as one approach to easing off doom scrolling. And that is to physically switch off your phone and leave it in another room, at least a half an hour before you go to bed. That's what I'm doing. And it's weird. And the reason I'm switching off my phone is, I used to think, well, I'll put the phone in another room. But then I found that sometimes I would still kind of, if I had to go to the loo or something, I'd pick up the phone and start looking at it in the night. So now I physically switch it off, even though I have an Android phone. It's really difficult to switch the damn thing off. And that bothers me. Why can't I switch my phone off easily? Anyway, every night I'm like there and I'm getting the damn thing off. And it's off. And immediately my mind knows I can't go to that as a source of entertainment or disappearing in the middle of the night when I'm not sleeping. And something inside of me is relaxing. The other beautiful thing about my phone being switched off at night is that it's not on in the morning. So it's not the first thing I look at. The first thing I do is I meditate, then I journal and I have my glass of hot water and lemon. And that's at least a good an hour of the day before the phone goes on. Sometimes it's even longer. And there's something a little bit, it's like I feel like I'm returning back to myself. And that's what many of my clients are saying. Why am I on this damn thing? It doesn't do any good. And why is it people who who didn't grow up with this. I didn't grow up with this. This is only a recent phenomenon. And so one of my clients, what they've done is they put the phone into a cupboard, and that's their routine. Another client of mine, what they're doing is they're observing how much time they're on the phone, and they're doing this using the time wheel tool that I created, and you can download that as part of my Overwhelm workbook. It's free to download, so there'll be a link in the description box down below where you can download that and access the time wheel and start recording just how much time you're on the phone. That's what one of my clients are doing. They find that really, really helpful, and they're now beginning to question, and they're like, I'm hours on the bloody phone and I could be doing this thing or that thing. Or so two approaches is having a routine where you switch off your phone or put it in a cupboard. Another is tracking the time, really noticing what happens to your mood when you've done a really lovely event or been in nature or done a meditation or did a great workout and you're feeling really good, and then you start looking at the phone. Notice your mood. And then thirdly, another approach is, and I was very deliberate in using the word approaches to ease off doom scrolling. I'm not saying stop, because I think if you stop, that may not work for you. Some people it does, but I feel like a slowly approach, easing off, looking at the behaviour, and then the more you're noticing and becoming aware of it, the more your interaction with it will change. And you may decide to drop it altogether. But just wanted to give that space of easing off. So the final approach that you can do is to spend more time outdoors, which is why I thought I'd do this outdoors today in the morning time. And yes, you'll hear the sound of cars, but you'll also hear the sound of birds and bees, hopefully. And just enjoying and slowing down and being in nature, being outdoors. And if you live in a city, I've lived in a city, find a park, sit on the grass, be near a tree or a lake or a pond, or whatever little bit of nature you can find. There's something very real about it, and something that does something to our system. So these are just a few ways that you can ease off from doom scrolling, whether it's switching off the phone, putting it away, having a structured routine, tracking the time, noticing how you are with it, and being out in nature. And also approaching this in a non-judgmental way. This is not about judging you and saying, don't doom scroll. We are all going to doom scroll. But it's more about you choosing to doom scroll, not that you're being manipulated. Because this is what it's all about. It's you using technology or using social media to augment and improve your life or to add to your life. It's not about you being manipulated and almost like a button being pressed in your brain and you keep doing the thing, So that's what this video is all about. So let me know how you get on. Drop a comment in the box below. I'd love to hear what your experience is. And until next time, have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.